Our next guest made headlines in 2021 as the whistleblower who disclosed tens of thousands of Facebook's internal documents, alleging the company was aware of dangerous content promoted on their platform. Frances Haugen explains what motivated her in her new book, The Power of One: How I Found the Strength to Tell the Truth and Why I Blew the Whistle on Facebook. Frances, thanks so much for joining us. So I believe it was 1 month after the 2020 election, 1 month before the January 6th insurrection, that you learned that the Civic Integrity Department at Facebook was being disbanded. At what point did you decide, or what made you decide at that point that you were going to leak these documents from Facebook?
I am a little bit of an anomaly in terms of someone who works with algorithms, and that I have an MBA from Harvard. And at Harvard, I took a class called Change Management. And one of the most important things you need if you want to move an organization is to appoint a vanguard and say, these people are the future. We're going that way, and we're going to back them. Facebook did that for 4 years. But when they dissolved civic integrity, they showed they were no longer to commit to that change. And that's when I knew they weren't going to be able to heal themselves from within.
And what would you say was the most damning to Facebook of those documents that were released?
I would say probably, so about 6 weeks before I came out to the public, before the Wall Street Journal began reporting, the Senate directly asked Facebook, do you have any research about children's mental health? And Facebook came back and said, there's no evidence of what the healthy amount of social media use is, which is not the answer to that question. In reality, Facebook had a pile of research about children's mental health. And I think when the Wall Street Journal began reporting Facebook has internal research saying kids are being harmed, the public was shocked by that.
After disclosures, you write that I now found myself regularly called upon to give people a ladder out of the pit of despair that Facebook had invested so much money in digging. Explain what you experienced after you blew the whistle and how it's been life-changing.
And I think if you talk to the average person on the street, they would probably express conflict over what to do with social media. They might say, I really want social media to be safer, but I'm also worried about censorship. I value freedom of speech. That conflict is artificial, and it's something that Facebook spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to promote, the idea that we can't do anything. The thing that I was most surprised by after I came out was how hungry people are for solutions. Like, how can we make these platforms safer without touching content directly? And I think that getting to see that hope and that optimism build in people has been one of the most rewarding things about coming out.
And when we talk about solutions, you know, you spoke before Congress in 2021, and you said at that time, with regard to the crisis surrounding social media, these problems are solvable. A safer, more enjoyable social media experience is possible. So in your view, what is that solution?
Any solution to move forward has to begin on a foundation of transparency. I'll give you a really simple example. Right now, Facebook doesn't have to report how many kids are online after midnight. But the Surgeon General says 1 in 3 kids are saying they used screens till midnight or later most weeknights. We have ways of helping people turn off their phones when it gets late at night. Things like slowing down the interface so they get sleepy around their bedtime. They're never going to do any of these solutions if they don't have to report on the societal costs of these things, in addition to their profit and loss numbers.
When Facebook disbanded the Civic Integrity Unit, what was the explanation for that?
Oh, it was excellent. They said, you guys are doing such valuable work that you need to be incorporated into other parts of the company. But they didn't make, say, the people who had been running civic integrity the leaders of those new teams. Like, we weren't that valuable that we should lead those new endeavors. And at Facebook, there were many, many reorganizations. And you could always tell who won and lost by who ended up in charge. And we definitely did not end up in charge.
I guess I'm just trying to understand from somebody who was inside that it feels like Facebook knows that there are dangers associated with the platform, but they're kind of throwing caution to the wind, as you describe it, to trying to do anything, especially in trying to help youth.
I think one of the big challenges, so Mark Zuckerberg came out, you know, just in the last few months and said, this is our year of efficiency. We're going to fire all these people. Many of my favorite researchers who are working on safety lost their jobs in those layoffs. Facebook understands that right now they have to report their profit and loss numbers, but they don't have to report their societal cost numbers. And as long as we don't have to show that part of the balance sheet, they'll keep they'll keep underspending on safety. Because I think they've rolled back to levels that were like what it was when I came out, because they know no one's holding them accountable.
Really fascinating information there. We thank you so much for coming on the show, Frances. And we should note that we did reach out to Facebook for comment. They did not have a statement on this book. The Power of One is on sale tomorrow wherever books are sold.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.